Michelle.
Today we're going to be learning about the progression of multiplication in 3rd grade.
What's very interesting about the multiplication is that the foundation is actually began teaching in 2nd grade because of the repeating of numbers.
In 2nd grade, students are learned how to add and subtract by visualization of their numbers. And in 3rd grade, we'll start off multiplication doing the same thing as well. So in here, I have 3 times 7. So I drew 3 rows of 7. And if we add them all up together, we would get 21. How I drew this is my personal opinion on how I personally understand it, but kids can draw it as 7 rows of 3, and this is also correct. It just all depends on how a student is able to understand what the problem is asking.
So here we have a common multiplication problem in the 3rd grade. 3 times what number equals 21? So automatically the students are going to want to put it into 3 rows because that's one integer that they have, that's the information they have, and here's the other part of the problem that they have already given to them. So here they're just going to make a general part of 21 dots, and then they're going to evenly put each of the dots into these rows until they basically run out of the 21, and then they will find their answer. So once the students are done taking their pool of 21 and evenly distributing it into 3 rows, they're going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 3 times 7, add it all together, equals 21. So that's your answer.
So children get the foundation of multiplication by using the visual squares. So they write out 3 columns of 7, and they add it all together, which equals 21.
They then move on to a more column-like structure where it's still a visual, but columns and rows come into play more than just the structure of squares and numbers.
Then the kids will eventually progress into switching the visual aid into numbers. So now we write out the 1, 2, 3 row of 3, and then all the way to 7, and then we write 1 in there because there's only 1 dot, and add them all together is 21.
So once they get into more of a numerical structure, they'll be able to group things that they can. So this row of 3 becomes just 1, 3. So from what they learned in 2nd grade about repeating addition was a foundation of multiplication. So here we have 3 plus 3 is 6, 6 plus 3 is 9, and so on until they get their final answer, seeing that 3 times 7 equals 21.
Overall, teachers should be able to help their students understand the use of structure and how important it will be able to help them understand on how to use multiplication.